So today I thought I'd talk about a new figure by Monster Arts, Bandai Monster Arts, that was just announced. And you can see here it's Mecha King Ghidorah from Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. This is after he is defeated by Godzilla, and I can't remember exactly, but I think goes forward in time, and they give him all of this robotic repairs, and then he comes back and gets beaten again. So, but it's a really neat looking figure. Look at this. If you could, with all the clamps and stuff flying out, very neat figure. So this one is coming in at $294.99, and I'm sure that one will go up in price significantly, but it's available. It's for purchase, releasing in April 2023. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets pushed back, but that's common. I am not going to be purchasing this figure. It's just too massive. That's the problem. This is intended to be to scale with Godzilla, and my shelf just I can barely fit what I have. And so there's a lot of figures that I haven't gotten. So I don't have this one here. This is just the regular King Ghidorah, the non-Mecha King Ghidorah. I didn't get that one because you can see that. Let's see. So the wingspan is almost 2 feet. The height is close to 10 inches with a massive wingspan. So you would need a pretty big shelf for that. And, with the amount of figures I have, it's just too massive. Another figure that I did not get is this one, which is the Biollante. Biollante is one of my all-time favorite kaiju. But it's just too big. This is another one. I think it's a similar size. Biollante was one of the largest kaijus. I think at one point I was looking at different sizes, and Biollante was, I believe, the heaviest of all the kaijus. So I skipped out on this one. This one's on Amazon $3.89. That wasn't what it was originally selling for. So if I could have bought it for an investment and flipped it. This one, special color version, $500. So I don't know, but these are just, I don't have the space for things this big, so I opted out. Another one that I opted out on was let's see here. Mecha Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. And the reason I didn't buy this one was because I don't like the look of it at all. I can't stand. I don't think it looks like Mecha Godzilla. I mean, it looks like a mechanical Godzilla, sure, but Mecha Godzilla never really looked like a mechanical Godzilla. He's got big arms, and he's just. I think that for me, I was not a fan of Godzilla vs. Kong at all. One of the problems in the movie, now I understand what they were trying to do. They're trying to respond to the criticisms that they were getting. And I think some of the criticisms was that it was kind of boring, the films, even though the previous one did have a lot of action. I don't think that was the problem with the previous film. But to me, I think one of the underrated Godzilla movies was Godzilla versus Titanosaurus. And I remember the one scene where Godzilla's facing off Titanosaurus, and you could see Mechagodzilla in the background, and he's not moving at all. He's just standing there. And I thought that to me is the iconic Mechagodzilla, just an intimidating force. He eventually did, but all of his moves were very slow and methodical. Raise his arms, shoot the missiles, and stuff like that. This Godzilla was Mechagodzilla was jumping around and doing action and stuff like that. And besides the fact that it seems ludicrous for something that size to be moving around with that speed, it just takes away from the weight and the size. When you have a creature moving that fast, that's that big, you don't get the impression that it's really that big, because something that big would not be moving with that speed. So this one I think is the only one with die cast. So I don't know where the die cast is. I would assume probably not a lot of die cast, but maybe in the joints. I'm not sure, but I'm sure this is not all metal. It says plastic and die cast. 7.5 inches, so Mechagodzilla would be a little bit taller. Here is my Godzilla versus Kong Godzilla. And you can see he's actually the exact same as the previous, the King of Monsters, except that his spines are, painted blue. So, not sure if I made the right decision buying a second one, since literally it's the same except for a new paint job. But I think that Mecha King Ghidorah looks fantastic. I don't have the shelf space. I mean, I do, but it would take up so much for a nearly 2 foot wide and 10-inch tall figure. I just can't have something like that. I'm really straining with all of the boxes I have. The box would be enormous. It's really putting a strain, and I'm getting closer and closer to the point where I'm going to have to start getting rid of some figures, because I just I even have a decent sized house, a pretty big house, but it's all these boxes and stuff is taking up so much room, and I can't really. The Ghidorah, actually, despite the fact, so Ghidorah is about $200, but the box actually is not that big. It's not huge. King Ghidorah probably comes in pieces. You probably have to put on the wings and stuff like that. So it's probably maybe not a 2 foot box, or maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not sure how, but I'd be surprised if the wings come attached. But it's still surely going to be monstrous. But he is a good looking figure. So Bandai is definitely keeping up with Godzilla. They're continuing to make the figures. It is interesting when you go into Big Bad Toy Store and they have let's see here, 20 different franchises, including Best of 80s and Best of 90s. And Godzilla makes the cut in the top franchises. So that's interesting. My Hero Academy and Acid. I don't know what Acid Rain is. That's new to me. But Godzilla is up there among the most popular. So if you want a gigantic figure, this looks like a nice one.